What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the second episode of a new show that I'm trying to do with fans to discuss an insane 7 days. Actually, we have somebody on who was part of of the insanity. Witnessed it. Didn't leave the stadium, by the way. He's one of the good guys, I guess. But we're gonna talk about what we all saw, witnessed, and probably never ever will forget. The last 7 days. And then the question is, who are we really? Are we this insane, crazy team that can be all over the place and good for I would say the not neutral friends, excuse me, or are we just still looking and searching and trying to find ourselves in this season? But Josh, Karen, Nizar, how are you guys doing?
I was so worried to come onto this show thinking we lost 4-2, so I was so happy to see those last two goals.
I'm still recovering from that chaotic game against Dortmund. I basically turned off my TV at 4-2. I said I had enough. And I'm in a group chat with some guys here in Barbados, and they're all going crazy. 4-3, 4-4. Believe in your side. I said I had no belief, so but we just find a way, and we'll talk about it here today.
Same with me. I was already excited for the new season, but the last two games that was not normal.
Well, it's not normal for us, especially like once a season, let alone twice in about 4 days, not even 4 days.
Yeah.
3 days actually. It's crazy, but we're gonna talk about all of that, and the issues and maybe the positive signs as well, coming from these last two crazy games, like intense games, because in the end, actually, it feels like we won 2 games, but we haven't won 2 games, or like that's the vibe that's kind of out there, that we kind of won 2 games, but in fact we only won one of them. Where to start is, I'll start with you, Josh. Are you looking at these 2 games, and let's say at the start of the season you had an idea, or like what an idea, you envisioned how our season will go, in March, May, whatever. Looking at it right now, are you looking at it and saying, I changed my opinion in a more positive manner, or not, purely based on those 2 games?
I think my expectations for the season were not high to start, so it's still better because we're scoring goals. That's nice. The defense we always knew the defense was awful, usually more stable, but I mean, maybe I didn't watch Tudor enough. I didn't realize, I guess he is a bit more of an offensive coach than I gave him credit for. I thought he was pretty defensive, or just really high pressure, but still in like a super counterattacking way. And although we do play that way, it seems, I don't know, he's got more like freedom for the attack. I'm not sure, but I'm pleasantly surprised still with the start of the season. I'm hopeful for it to continue, but I am still really worried about consistency. Like last season, we did score quite a few goals in the beginning. We thought there was a lot of fight in the team last season as well. So I hope it continues. The vibe around the team, I think, is stronger now. I like the way Tudor is with the players. He seems more connected to them. They seem to enjoy just being coached by him more. Like the whole situation feels more positive from like the camp of the team. So that gives me more hope that going forward, there's still going to be more fight like throughout the season. I don't think we're going to have like an intense drop off. But we'll see how like consistent we can be, I guess, moving forward.
What do you think, Karen? Like, did you change your opinion either way, like positive or negative?
I'll tell you what, I don't think we have been bad defensively. I don't think we've made any individual errors. I just think we are defending a bit too deep. and I think we start games too slowly. Um, my opinion on the team hasn't really changed that much. I see us as a team that has the ability to switch when we are down, when we are desperate. We have that ability to attack. And I was very disappointed with how we started that game against Dortmund. Dortmund is not a top team, but we gave them so much respect in that first half. It was like annoying to watch. Like I want to see my team on the front foot. We were at home and we were playing very timid, very shy, and I was not a fan of that at all. We were defending way too deep, and it was only when we went a goal down, we started to play. We started to get into the game. So that concerns me a bit. Is that the team that I saw Tudor was building last season and into the Club World Cup, I saw a team that was pressing. I saw a team that wanted to play direct. But this season we were playing very sluggish. And for some reason, we looked very tired as well. The players looked knackered in that game. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but we looked really, really tired. I think the next game, I know we're going to talk about it, but Thuram needs a rest. Bremer needs a rest. And some others as well. So I'm not too concerned as yet because I think defensively we haven't been making any individual errors. It's just the continuity of the team is just we're not really playing together defensively, and but I'm not too worried as yet. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, what do you think? It's like you witnessed it, you saw it live, one of the two insane games. So I don't know, like maybe because of you watch it live, you have a different view on it. But what do you think?
Wow, yeah, I totally agree with Karen. Like against Inter and against Dortmund, the first 15 or 20 minutes, we barely have the ball and we give the opposition almost free play. We are defending too deep. And also, I agree with Karen here that you see against Inter, I was there. When they came, we went in the second half with 2-1 for us. And it was like a five back. We were defending way too deep, and that's how we are conceding goals. But yeah, I'm not too concerned at the moment. I'm very positive actually because I think there is progress in the team and players from last season and in the play. With with Motta, we're losing the match against Dortmund and Inter for sure. It's yeah, the mentality is a big part of this team, and I like that a lot.
Imran, you just came in. I don't know if you heard the question, but the question was if you had an opinion on this team or how you believe the season will go. Did your opinion changed based on the last two games?
Well, hello. Do you hear me well first?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, for the last two games, we played two big games against Inter and Dortmund, which I believe that this Juventus is not ready yet to face this big game. So at the end against Inter, we tried, we pushed, we were neck to neck with a really strong team, one of the strongest teams of Europe. And the way Tudor approached the game, he tried to limit Inter as possible, but at the same time, this Juventus is not built to defend for 90 minutes and to play on counterattacks. We have a lot of weapons in the attack, so we need to use them. So this team is not really ready to play that kind of defensive football. That kind of Allegri football with counterattack. This team is not ready. So when we tried it for the first time against Inter, we left so much spaces to the opponent to shoot. We saw with Barella, with Charnoglu, they always have the like 2 meters to shoot, which when we have the time to shoot, Inter they don't give you space. But for us, we always give that space. So that's one of the main problems of Tudor, the way he defends and then leaving those meter or 2 meters to the opponent to shoot, which is with Di Gregorio, it's difficult for him to save. And in 2 games, we conceded 4 or 5 goals from distance. So I think this is the only thing that we need to fix. But then Tudor needs to understand that you have a strong team offensively. You need to play on that. Don't limit yourself and play at the back for 90 minutes. No, you can go, you can face the big teams with the attack you have. But then we have an incomplete squad, which you need to manage with the rotations. So for the upcoming game, I think that a player like Bremer, Thuram, Yildiz, these 3 players, they are fundamentals for Juventus. And if they are having a bad game, Juventus will have a bad game. So they need to rest. So this is my take on Juventus for the last 2 games.
I think that's
I mean-
such a good point too, though. Like expectation, you're talking about expectations. Like the one expectation that I guess I had pretty low, and I don't think it's changed yet, is Tudor is really scared in the big games. It still feels like the team still holds back a lot against bigger teams. And the Inter game, I think, was our first win against a big team. And that was like such a wild game that could have gone either way. So there needs to be more against big teams, especially.
I agree with what Imran said. The team, the way we play, and I don't want to believe that we got forced into it, because I don't think Dortmund had the technical qualities in that squad to force us that much back. I think that was kind of a decision. But I agree. I don't think we have the squad. Like, we don't have a real DM, and Locatelli was not playing. We didn't have a DM whatsoever at that point. It makes it all even more difficult just to sit back, and soak up the pressure. Because I do agree, if Tudor is thinking that we have players to play on the transition, we do have that. Actually, Vlahovic will thrive on the transition. That's why when he starts and we don't really play on the transition, he kind of struggles. But when we play on transition, we have the ability to actually hurt any team out there. The quality is there. But some teams are not going to allow you to do that. That's one. And what if they pin you back so much and you don't find a way? You don't have a DM playing and you kind of struggle, to protect that back line. And for example, against Inter, it was Vlahovic up top there, and we struggled. Like we did, we absolutely did. And against Dortmund, I think the first 35 minutes, I had no clue what I was watching. Like, Dortmund had possession, they had absolutely no idea what to do with the ball, and we couldn't keep hold of the ball. The last 12 minutes of that first half, I think we grew into the game and we found those combinations between Openda, Yildiz. It became a bit more easier. So I was like, okay, the second half, we're just going to pick it up. And then you can see very early on, in my opinion, that type of goal again, too much space. And then it escalates really quickly. And then for some reason, the quality up front pops up. It shows for some odd reason. But then you keep conceding the same type of goals and you just go back, which all you said. You start the game in a certain way. I think in bigger games, you're just gonna you're trying to play catch up. I think all season long, in every single game. If that's your approach, because I agree also with Josh. In big games, I think he's scared because I think, for example, João Mario is going to start against Verona. Why didn't he start against Dortmund? For example, because why are we worried about maybe defensively it's not good? Dortmund are not good as well. I always think we need to go from that basis and we need to limit the other team, for example. That's how I'm looking at it, and it's frustrating because when we throw out the quality and we go for it, we see what we can do, and it's like, why do we not start by doing that first? Why do we always need to take a hit? Now the positive is we prove that we can overcome certain situations, but at one point it's going to stop, and also at one point you're going to play, I don't know, Pisa at home, and it's just going to sit back, and you're just going to need to figure it out. So I don't know what the real issue is when it comes to our approach. But I think we can all agree that the issue from conceding chances is the space. Like, I rewatched the game today from minute 1 to minute 95. I rewatched it, and the spacing between the back line and our midfield is a massive issue. Like, it's clear, it's obvious to see. So the question is, what is the solution? Because I've seen people say play 3 midfielders, and I'm like, do you want to see Koopmeiners play? Does everyone want to see Koopmeiners play week in, week out? Is that going to help us right now or damage us even more? That's one. Or is it, you know what, this needs to be fixed by, well, coaching, like closing down the space. Like, that's purely coaching rather than, I think, personnel in that area of the pitch. So Josh, do you have any idea how you can solve this, or is it just a freak 2 days where every shot was going in?
I mean, I do think it's an anomaly. I don't think every game's going to be this open. Like, I feel like the Verona game is going to get more closed up again. But, I mean, that midfield is having a really hard time connecting with the defense. I do think, like, Kelly, Kalulu, like, they're just not really good ball-playing defenders, so they have a hard time linking up anyway. So I don't really know. I don't really think that we're going to get a midfield that's going to dominate a game this season, to be honest, which is unfortunate. Unless, like, Koopmeiners has a, like we talked about it before, like, he's got to have an amazing season to try to displace Locatelli, and I don't see it happening. It would be great, but I don't see it. He would have to become like an old Koopmeiners for us to start dominating a midfield again. And if that's even his game, really. So I think there is something to potentially playing Mario and Cambiasso on the wings. While it's like really offensive, both of them like to hold the ball and both of them like to carry it forward more. So I feel like there could be a balance of letting the midfielders just stay defensive and letting them play that more offensive role of going up. There could be a balance there to help connect it more. Because right now, if we want the midfield to do it, I just don't see Thuram can't do it alone. And whatever the balance is just non-existent right now.
What do you think, Karen? Do you have a solution for Tudor?
Well, I wish I could call Tudor right now and talk to him and tell him you have to push the team higher up the pitch. You cannot allow players to be comfortable on the ball. You're going to get hurt. And we were playing against Borussia Dortmund, a decent side, not a top side, and we were sitting back way too deep. So to me, it's a coaching issue. We got to push the players a little higher up the pitch, and just be a bit more inventive. Play John Mario on the right, play Cambiasso. We just got to be a bit more braver in our play and close down the areas a lot more quickly. And I think we will be a better team. I think we got to play someone a bit different in the game against Verona in the midfield. I think Thuram looks really tired. I thought he had a pretty off game as well. I still think we're missing like a player that can collect the ball from the center backs and just like spray it around. I know Locatelli can do it in a way, but we're missing like a Pirlo, like a Pjanic, someone just that can dictate the play in the middle. But I just think we just gotta play more aggressive. We cannot be that shy in our football against teams like that, because if you go up against the bigger sides, we're gonna get demolished playing that defensively and playing that deep. You look at the goals that they scored. I think we had Thuram in the box. Koopmeiners was in the box. That's too deep. You got to apply pressure on these players, or you're definitely gonna get hurt. So, Tudor, if you're listening, just get the guys a bit higher at the pitch, and we should be a lot better.
What do you think, Nizar? Is it?
Yeah, I also think it is a coaching problem. also what I think we've learned from the Dortmund match is I know Thuram had a terrible game, but yeah, Thuram next to Koopmeiners, I don't see it yet. I think Locatelli, when he came on, he had a very good impact, a very underrated impact from what people have seen. But yeah, I think it's a coaching problem against Verona. I don't think we're gonna get stumbled in the midfield, but yeah, the next match I think this Atalanta, it will be a bigger problem than we think.
You can say, Imran. You can give your take.
Yeah. Okay. Alejandro, you mentioned a really good point, which is that space between the defensive line and the midfield, especially that we saw after in second half, after the 55, 60 minutes, when you can clearly see that Turam, his energy level was zero. Huh? He was just walking, and he had even some difficulties. I don't know if he's injured or not, but it seems that he was really struggling to even walk. He was really tired. He played a top game against Inter, and then 3 days he's playing another big game where he needs to do a lot of work because Miners is not there. He was a ghost in the game. So a Turam that needed to carry the ball in the attack and at the same time to close the spaces on the Dortmund players, which was really a big work to do for a one player in the midfield. And when Locatelli entered, you can see that he started to do the defensive job so that Turan can relax a bit. But even if he was really tired, he couldn't even run. So I believe that's why we saw a midfield of Juventus that was really far away from the defensive line, which gave Dortmund a lot of opportunities to score. And luckily they missed, even if, yeah, they got a penalty, a magical penalty. I don't know how they got it. But I feel like the problem of Juve today is that you don't have many players in the midfield. It's only Thuram, Locatelli, Koopmeiners. And for me, if you want to play Thuram and Koopmeiners at the same time, one of them will have a really bad game. Because if Koopmeiners is ghosting, like we saw in the last game, then Thuram needs to do all the work, which will finish the player in 45 or even 30 minutes because we know how much Thuram pushes because he gives everything he has. So I believe that Locatelli Thuram is the best combination in our midfield. But then I hope that we can see more of Aziz to relax Thuram a bit, and why not even Miretti there? And of course, I hope that we can recuperate Koopmeiners. Even if before the game I said that if Koopmeiners doesn't give a top performance against Dortmund, it's over. And I still believe that today it's over for Koopmeiners. He's missing the shot, he's missing the control. It's really over. So, but I hope that we can recuperate him.
Yeah, that shot was bad that he took.
That was a bad effort. Yeah.
That was with no confidence, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't say it's easy, but it was so wide off that that you need to talk about it, basically.
It's
Like, if it
harder
was
to
closer. Yeah, he fluffed it as well. I mean, for me, it's very simple. Koopmeiners and Thuram are players who need to, and it's not fair because all players have their defensive duties, but those are two players who just need to think about forward. I need to get forward. You know, for Thuram, it's literally, carrying the ball. For Koopmeiners right now, it's more about pressing. For me, that's also the biggest question mark because when I think about Tudor and what he wants to do with a team, it's pressing, it's winning that ball back quick. And he talked about it, post game. Post Inter said what I wanted to do didn't work. And then after Dortmund said, I want to see an attacking Juve. And we don't really, we see that, but it's in moments where we have no choice. Like you're going to need attack. Like you're going to need to attack right now, because you are forced. At the end, he even chucked in Zigrova, who magically popped up out of a wheelchair. If you needed to believe Romeo Gressi's reporting on him, I couldn't believe it because the way Romeo spoke about it. I'm like, we're not going to see him in 25. Like, it's not going to happen. And then he played. It's like I saw. I'm exaggerating. He played 10 minutes and he had an impact like Messi would have an impact, based on the reporting. But I mean, it's forced. It's easier to attack when you have absolutely no choice. I think like all of us have played football. I think, but at one point in a game when the game is lost, for some reason after the game, even if you lost, and I've lost games, 5-3 when we were down 5-0, and I was like, the first time that happened, I was like, why didn't we play like this from the get-go? The second time it happened, I'm like, it's a choice we make because we can, like, we just go out, attack, and create chances because, well, the game is over. We have nothing to lose. That's not the right mindset, in my opinion. Now, the way we play as well right now, like the positioning, the decisions when it comes to personnel is very strange. Like, that needs to be resolved. That is a Tudor thing. And I'm not even talking about that front line because I don't know what the best combination is right now. Also because, well, Segrova is injured. Injured, like not fit. Segrova, Consao was injured. Openda's just here, etc. So I understand that, he still needs to figure it out. But, for example, Kalulu, who pops up with it with assists, consistently good, going forward is not on the bingo card for him. Like, and I don't blame him for that. And on top of that, he has a tendency of playing well, and then throughout, the second half, just he gets lost in the chaos, and he becomes the chaos for some reason. Against Dortmund as well, like he just like he was playing well against Dortmund, and then at one point I was like, "What happened to you? Like, what just happened again?" And maybe it is the positioning, and he needs to think about, "Go, I need to attack, I need to defend." I don't like that, and I know he's not a central defender by like normally his position is not center back, like in a pair two, whatever, But this is even like this is different. Wing back, the way we want to play, it's different, and it's not fair towards him, in my opinion. And it lacks, like, it's one piece there. It's Colt Miners that lacks there a little bit. It's him who lacks there, and all those pieces together, I think, needs to get resolved. And decisions are going to need to be made soon by Tudor. Because I was watching a podcast today. I don't know if you guys agree with that. And it was an Italian podcast. I forgot the name, so I apologize for no shout out. But they were talking about it, and it was like, man, and they were a bit older than me, and they were talking about how football was in the past. And they said, in the past, we didn't talk about, oh, that guy needs a rest, and that guy needs a rest, and how you play him to neutralize that guy, basically all those things. And they were talking about, why do you just not play Joao Mario and like play players in the natural positions and let them learn, from their mistakes, etc., rather than try to overthink it and be like, oh man, let me put McKennie in there to neutralize Dumfries. Let me do this with Kalulu to, avoid that situation, and etc. And that guy was basically saying, why not? This is the way I want to play, and I'm gonna enforce that on the team in training, and then on my opponents, and I will see how it goes. And based on that, based on my belief, my team, I'm gonna make adjustments. So, like, Josh, is it more of he's scared right now to do that, or even worse, he doesn't trust certain players at all, and it's just, I'm going to need to do this basically all season, because I don't trust a Joao Mario to defend in the big games from minute one, for example.
He definitely doesn't trust Mario to defend. I think that's really clear. I think it's just a really big modern coaching thing of just finding balance, though. Like, it's so common for one defensive wing back and then the other wing back is offensive. So we'll never see like a Cambiaso and a Mario together. I don't think we'll see that. I think it should be tried, though, but I don't see it happening. I think he still feels defense qualities first, which causes that fear approach. And I think that the team feels that, like, there's confusion still And it's early, so it's okay. I think there's just confusion in the team on knowing like a balance of when are we supposed to attack versus defend. Yeah.
What do you think? Like, Garrett, like, do you agree with Jazz? Like, we're not going to see
Yeah.
Joe Mario and Cambiaso.
Well, I think we will see Joe Mario and Cambiaso against Verona. I think he has to play it. I think we'll see Joe Mario and Cambiaso. Listen.
Well, Cambiaso's suspended, isn't he, for that game?
No, he's back.
No, he's back. He's
He had
back.
2
He's
games.
back.
Genoa and Inter.
Listen.
Oh, he missed the Genoa one.
Guys.
Oh, okay, I don't know why. I thought he was out for the Genoa. Or he got the red in that one again.
We're not blind. We can see the difference of Joe Mario when he comes on the field. His touches, his vision, his pace. We look a totally different side when he's in the game. Totally different. So play him. I don't think, okay, everybody's saying he's bad defensively, but we're playing against Verona on the weekend. I mean, start him. I can understand if you're playing against Barcelona, Liverpool, Real Madrid, you go defensively to help out on the wing and double up. And I understand, but come on now, let us just be proactive in our play. Play João Mario, play Cambiaso. I was very impressed with Zagrova. Very, very impressed. He's got that magic about him. He just looks comfortable on the ball. I'm a bit concerned with David. I know it's only 3 games, but he looks a bit stocky. He's running a bit slow.
You know what it is?
Go ahead,
I've
Alex.
seen people. No, I agree, but I watched him. I actually watched him over here live. He's always been like that. Like, it's like I don't like those type of okay. I like him as a player, but usually I do not like those type of players. I agree, but I think the problem against Dortmund, because David can play a bit deeper, but I think he was playing way too deep. Like, he was picking the ball
Way
up
too deep, yeah.
midway own half, and that's not his game. It's just not a game. And on top
Yeah.
of that, technically, he had a poor game, which makes it all much worse. You know, that's
Yeah.
just what it was.
Yeah. And I just want to apologize to Lloyd Kelly and Dusan Vlahovic, because I wanted these guys. No, I have to apologize to these guys. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You don't. Like, okay,
No,
you can say, I can say like Kelly, like in the summer, I still want an upgrade. Like, he's playing well right now. I'm fine, but I saw the report today,
Same.
like, and I'm not gonna flip it. I don't know if anyone saw the report today from Nico Shira. We refused 20+ million. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, good job." I was like, "It's not a good job. That was a lot of money. Like, you needed to take it." He's doing well right now in 2 games. He scored 2 goals. I'm fine, but it's still not Juve level, and that money should have been taken if that was actually out there, and we should have improved and invested for the future. I'm not gonna change my opinion on that, but I do agree he played much better the last 2 games, so I'm gonna give him that.
He's playing very well, and that was arguably Vlahovic's best game I've seen him play in a Juventus jersey.
Yeah, that was good.
He was holding up the ball. His touches were good. His passing was immense. He was holding off defenders. He was good aerially. I cannot believe that was Vlahovic. It was like, is that Vlahovic?
Yeah, no,
wait.
I have no apologies for Vlahovic.
Before apologizing to Vlahovic, Karen, don't be fooled by Vlahovic of September and August. Just put this in your mind. Every single year in his career, he's scoring many goals in September and August, and then disappears. So before apologizing to him, put this in your mind.
Also,
no, I mean, he ran back. He did not do that at all last season. Running back, getting the ball.
But it goes back to my point. When we play on transition and it's this type of game, Vlahovic will look good. He will look good. Obviously, this was levels above the usual good, I guess. But if we play Verona and sit back, you're not going to see that Vlahovic.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Right.
Because
correct.
It's not his game, you know. So Am I going to apologize? No, not really, because last season was poor. I
Come
think
on,
everybody-
Ali, man.
No,
This is what he's expected to do.
I
Like,
backed him for 3 years, and everybody in the comments was like, "Shut up, man!" Like, and last season he was extremely poor, and him playing well now is not going to change that. I'm not going to apologize for what I've seen. What I'm going to say is he's playing well. I've seen people say, "Oh man, he's going to leave." I'm like, who cares? Like, that's not the issue anymore. Like, the issue is score me goals. Like, if you score me goals, you can leave. Like, the contract is what it is. He's still not worth 12 million euros. He's still not worth that money. But he was
money.
good. He was
And
good.
he was
Like, I'm not gonna-
sprinting. He was. I saw games last season, also this season, I think. He was just jogging nonchalantly. He was sprinting. He was sprinting for the ball. The 49 minutes, he's sprinting. It's 4-2 and he's sprinting. It's it's a mentality
anyone-
thing at him. I
The
think.
second finish,
That
the
was
second finish that he scored from the ball from
that was top class.
Kalulu, that was an amazing finish. And then the pass to Kelly, the vision, it was like, what? Is that Vlahovic?
Also,
I
the
could
first
not
goal.
believe it.
The first goal, he's
Oh.
looking at Yildiz and he's timing that
that was
run
good.
perfect.
Yeah.
He's timing that run perfectly.
Does
that was
anyone
great
believe?
Guys-
quality from
Quickly.
both of them. Like Yildiz's vision to hold the ball until Vlahovic was back on side, and then also Dušan's just to stay. That was good quality.
Guys, I don't want to be
Yes,
against Vlahovic, but just remember last season, the game against Leipzig, he did a
Yeah.
fantastic game. And after that, we were praising him. He's the best attacker in the world. And after that, he disappeared. So I just want to mention that.
Oh, so just pump the brakes a bit. Pump the brakes a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Everybody-
I mean, we
but
had backup this time though. There's options which we
That's-
didn't have last year.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Like, one, he is competition, even though the competition is not really competing. I think Jonathan David, but it's still early. Opanda's now in that team, whatever. So there are options. But does anyone believe does anyone believe he can sign a new deal at this club? Does anyone think there is a chance that he will end up staying at the club?
If they give him 10 million, I think he'd say yes. But
If
I
lower
don't
fees,
think he'll do it.
and he agrees with it, I think it's good.
He won't.
Does anyone? Okay, let me rephrase it. Does anyone believe he will take a lower wage? And what wage do you think he will take?
No.
No.
Okay.
10 million is the lowest he'll take.
Is anyone gonna give him? Who's gonna give him 10 million?
If he
Right now,
if he
because-
plays really well
Maybe.
this whole season, then I think he'll get offers close to that amount. But not
Newcastle
he
can
won.
give him.
But they signed that Woldermite guy who I just watched, and
Yeah.
I have no idea what I watched. Like, I had it,
But they
put it
didn't
on.
replace Isaac.
Yeah, but I mean, are
What-
you gonna? I don't know. Does he want to go Newcastle? I don't like. Does anyone want to go Newcastle? Let's be
They play Champions League
honest.
in the Premier League.
Yeah, they play like Pafos play Champions League. They're in there, but are they gonna play like?
I think the only chance I do feel there is one. I do feel like he likes being in Italy. I think he likes it a lot in Italy. So I think there's a small chance that he could drop the wage a little bit below the 10 if he does do well and he's enjoying it. Not significantly though. I don't see us offering enough, but I think that the only reason there is it would be a small chance is he does seem to love being in Italy, and I don't think he wants to go to England and England's probably the only place that would offer him the wages. I just don't think he wants to go there.
Does anyone remember Rabiot in a contract season?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
last year.
He was amazing. He was amazing.
And I still was like, get out, like
Yeah.
leave. Like one good season in 4 or 5, like what is this? This ain't it? I don't have a problem with him being a free agent. Like, the decision was financially. It's not a decision or a situation created by new management. So it's a clean slate, I guess, for them. And for me, it's like, if you score me 20 goals this season, good. Like, good. I'm rooting
Ale,
for you.
Ale, I know that you're the moderator for the show, but I want to ask you a question. Do you think Vlahovic starts on the weekend?
Yes, because I
For
think
me,
Yildiz
no.
will get I think Yildiz will get a rest. So I think it's going to be Vlahovic, Openda, David.
That's fair.
Okay.
If Yildiz does not rest, though, I don't think Vlahovic would start, or I don't think he should start at least.
Okay, maybe yeah, you could be right. You know, but I have a feeling he's going to rest Yildiz. I mean,
Yeah,
he came out. He said at halftime, Yildiz and Thuram were pale. They look pale. So I was like, I mean, that's not a good quote to put out there, I guess. So you rest him, because that was one of my my next question. How beautiful and sad, or not sad, how beautiful and worrying is it that Yildiz is that important for this team? And when games are a bit, close, I'm watching the game, I'm like, do something. Like, please do something. Otherwise it's becoming difficult. It will be difficult for us. If you do not stand up right now, we're in trouble. We're not going to break this game open. So for me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. And then when reality sinks in, I'm like, that's not good, because he's not going to play every week, and we cannot be that dependent. Obviously he's levels above others maybe, and it, like, by default it would all, in a vacuum, it comes to him, like he is the guy. But it shouldn't be that, if you want to be a healthy team, I guess.
Yeah. I think it doesn't help that Cambiasso is also the wing back. I mean, when Mario plays on the right, it's a bit better on the right side, but like if it's not Mario, then the team on the right is just weak overall. I think there is just more strength on that left. Even with Thuram on the left side, there's just more strength to play through that side. So it is really dependent on that side, not just Yildiz, but he's so talented. Like, it's sad that we're relying on such a young kid, but then he's so talented, it makes sense. I think if Jagrova plays how he did in this game and he starts being consistent and David starts picking up like the goal scoring, I feel like the dependency would start switching off. But he was all we had last year, so there was no talent on that attack other than Yildiz last year. No one played well, so it's going to start this year with everything going through him too, because that's just the sample size. Like, he is the dominant one for the field.
What do you think, Karen? Is it like beautiful and sad, or worrying? I don't know how to put it.
Well, we rely so heavily on him. It's becoming a bit scary because he's just that good, and you don't want to see him get hurt. If he gets hurt or Bremer gets hurt, we're destroyed. We are destroyed.
Yeah.
Yildiz is a special player, guys. Whenever he gets the ball, the crowd gets up on their feet. He's just a real amazing talent. And we are heavily dependent on him for sure. Would I rest him this weekend? Do we have a game on the midweek?
No. No. We play Atalanta next Saturday, I think, as well. If I'm not mistaken. I think we play them Saturday as well.
Yes, Atalanta, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would rest him coming up this weekend. I'll play him because he's so important for us, and we've won 3 games, 3 out of 3. Let's keep this going. So
yeah, we need to keep the momentum going.
Yeah,
but it depends. If he was pale, that's true. Like, I don't know, is he sick? Like, he's got to be fit if he's gonna play.
Coming back at the point of how important he is. Of course, I love it. He's scoring goals. He's one of the best players in the league. But I also think that we have a lot of players in the attack that still need to adapt to the system, that need some time, that need fitness. And I think it is going to be less with players like Zagrova at their best, players like Openda at their best, players like David. David still doesn't, we don't really have especially a role for him where he's going to play. So Yeah, but if Yildiz is out, we are out. It's like that. But yeah, I would rest him. He was. I also would take that Verona game serious, but also I would give some players some extra minutes, some less minutes, like Thuram, Bremer, Yildiz. I would give them some less minutes, and some players like Mario, Openda, maybe Zegrova, Cabal, maybe. I would give them some more minutes to get in the rhythm of the game.
How about Gatti?
No, he's gonna play
Yeah.
put him rest. So
Yeah, he's gonna play.
How about Perrin? Because I heard a few guys were talking about Di Gregorio.
that was the next
Good.
topic because
Oh, sorry.
no. I will let Imran go because that was the final topic, Pirim, because
Okay.
yeah, I've
Okay,
heard some wild
for
things.
the dependency on Yildiz, for me, I see no problem with that because when you have these kind of players in your team that are one of the best in the world, you just naturally you give them the ball and naturally you depend on them to do anything. Look at Yamal at Barcelona. When it's difficult, they give him the ball and he's dribbling 3-4 players and he's scoring the goal for Barcelona. Look at Hakimi in PSG. They are doing all the work. When you have these top quality players, you just naturally you depend on them. And then at Juventus, you have a good players like Zegrova, like Openda, David, but they still need to settle in to understand the way of playing what Tudor is asking from them. Because today, I think that Openda, David for Juve, they are more a problem than a solution today because we don't know the positioning of these two players. Can they play together or not? Can they play? Uh, can someone play behind striker or not? Are they two number nines or not? So we don't really know the positioning of these two players. And then, if you want to rest your first star, Yildiz, you don't have options on the bench. Like if you will go with Openda, that's not his position. And if you put Adzic, he can play more on the right, not on the left. So the Yildiz is the first problem of this Juventus because you have no one on the bench. And if you're going to put anyone there, it's not because he's the best one, but just it's the only option.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
That's
but
fair. But I watched Barcelona and they have Rafinha, and it's like they're missing absolutely nothing.
Yes,
At
but
times.
Rafinha is already a player settled in Barcelona for 3 years. It's not like Openda or David.
No, I get it. I do agree with that, but that's why I'm like, we need to find a solution quick, or some players need to step up soon
Yeah.
because Yildiz is gonna have some bad games. It's happening at one point. It's going to happen. I've watched Buffon have bad games, Del Piero bad games. Like I've watched Pirlo have bad game, really bad games. I don't know if anyone remembers that last season he had some really shocking games.
Yeah.
So I remember people calling for him to be benched at one point. I will never forget that. But I want to talk about Perin and Di Gregorio because I think it's going. It's like it's out of hand. It really is out of hand because when I will acknowledge he made a mistake against Dortmund and some of the goals. I'm not saying saving, but it looked like he was not even close to attempting a save. I think that was more of an issue. Obviously, the Dortmund one, he was bad. The one where he hit the post, I was like, that cannot happen. You should clear that ball. Near post, that should be your ball. All those things, I do agree. What I don't agree with is people overreacting based on 2 games and forgetting last season, the Club World Cup. We play Champions League football because of Di Gregorio. I don't know. Did anyone forget the Venezia game as well? I'm not so sure. Or the games before that. How many times did he save us? With insane saves where I was like, I don't know how you've done that, but thank God, because we will be playing Thursday night football in Kazakhstan at this rate. Actually, you can still do that, but we didn't got Karabakh. But still, like that would be a real thing, and people are going overboard. I've seen somebody told me in the comments, not to call you out, by the way, but he said Prince should be getting at least 20 games a season. That's wild. Like, it's not a backup. We're talking about a goalkeeper. Your number one should play every single week, unless you agreed at the start of the season you play the Coppa Italia. I have no problem with that. I have no. If they agreed that you will get a game maybe once a month in the league, I have. If that's the agreement, fine. But if that's not the agreement, the number one needs to be the number one every single week, because you're not gonna bench a goalkeeper for 2 games and you put him in and he's like, he got his confidence back. You cannot sub him in like Vlahovic for 10 minutes, 15 minutes and boost his confidence to step back a goal here and there. You're not gonna sub in Di Gregorio the last 50 minutes when you're up 3-0 and you're like, go make some saves now to boost up your confidence. It's not gonna happen. If you do that right now, he's gone. Forget about it. You cannot use him this season anymore. It's completely done. I think it's going overboard because the way people are going about it feels like I don't know if anyone watched that clip from that goalkeeper in Germany where he scored almost like 3 own goals in one game. I don't know if anyone watched that video. In the same game, he kicked past the ball like 3 times. It was ridiculous, you know? It wasn't like the 2 games, like 10 years, like Bremer. Remember Bremer against Napoli when we lost 5-1? Away to Napoli when Di Maria scored? I will never forget that game because Bremer was unbelievably bad. Like, that's one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen. I will never forget that. 10 years from now, I'm not going to remember what happened with Di Gregorio in these 2 games. I'm not going to lie, because it's not that shocking. So for me, it's going overboard. I don't like that. Like, I don't think it's fair as well, based on what he has done for us. I want to add as well that Perin, I think he's a good goalkeeper, but talent-wise, I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. He was never close to winning the Golden Glove in Serie A. Like, Di Gregorio was also a beast at Monza. Like, it's not a one-off, you know. Oh, he had a couple of good games. That's not the case, you know, with Di Gregorio. So I do not understand it, and I do not like that some are trying to use the goalkeeping position like you're using a striker position and you have 5 options. You're like, I need to make a decision here, you know, week-to-week basis. I don't see that at a top club.
You don't take a keeper out to boost his confidence. I remember 2 years ago, Chesney had that terrible game where he let in like two awful shots. Like, those were mistakes. We're just slipping through his gloves. And everyone was like, he needs to be benched, start Perin. He's like gonna destroy his confidence. And they just kept playing him more, and he was like perfect in the next game. Like, he did really well. He made a bunch of important saves. Like, that's goalkeeping. Like, Di Gregorio didn't even it was poor. I think the one that hit the post, that was bad, but it was poor. Like, the near post you should be saving, but it happens. Like, they score near post, it still happens to keepers. Like, he didn't make a awful mistake that is like showing all these weaknesses he has. Like, it was a poor game. It wasn't like a disaster. Like, everyone played poor. It is what it is. He'll get the next one. He still made like a really good save in the game too. Like, Perin is a bench warmer. He accepted being a bench warmer. His mentality is to be a bench warmer. He doesn't need to play. Like, I don't even agree with this. Keeper is like, he shouldn't be playing in Serie A unless Di Gregorio is injured. Like, that's how I feel with first team keepers, that he can play Coppa, and maybe the end of the season, when the season's done, he can play a game. Like, that's all he should be doing.
I agree.
It
Really
could
quickly.
also be a resting option, right? With so much games in a year.
Keepers don't need a rest as much. Like, keepers used to play every game, no problem. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, usually, like, I feel like it's a new age thing, I guess, and I kind of agree with it. You know, Coppa here and there, but I mean, what you said. Also, somebody told me I feel sorry for Perin. I don't. That, like, the second goalkeeping, it's there if you got season-ending injury. You need to play, and you like, if he's good, fantastic. I don't feel sorry for a goalkeeper. I'm sorry, that's the only position that's fixed. At a top club, it's fixed. It should be fixed. The moment you're gonna start doing trials for a goalkeeper, I will tell you that season is gone. And like, you're a team that's gonna battle for like mid-table. Like, it is what it is. But Karen,
Not
you
even
have your say.
Pinsodio the GOAT?
No, I cannot believe he's still at the club. I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand why he's at the club, but I cannot stand him. I just cannot stand him.
yeah, you got off him as soon as he made those comments last season on Mota.
No, when the Fagioli thing did it to me when he scored away to Lecce and he was like, come back from the away fans. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
get out. Like I know he's on the he's like on the list, like he doesn't take up a spot, etc. But I'm like, yeah. But Karen, you brought up the Di Gregorio stuff a couple of minutes ago. So what do you think about the Di Gregorio Perin talk?
It's rubbish to me. Di Gregorio starts every day, all day.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, Perrin should be starting for a lot of Serie A clubs because I think he's a really good goalkeeper. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. To be honest, it was only the one mistake where he was beaten at his near post. To me, that's the only thing really. I'm not worried about Di Gregorio. For me, he's a top keeper. Let's just move on. Nothing else to say really.
Yeah.
Does anyone have
you
another
ever
opinion?
seen like a
Nisa?
Champions
I don't
League
know.
winning team that switches their keeper? Like,
No, not even like
Not
a
a
league
thing.
winning team. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I'm not gonna lie. I know people are like somebody in the members group chat, so a different one. It's not to call him out, by the way, and he knows that. Said that Arsenal, with Ramsdale. I'm like, he's bad, Ramsdale. He plays for relegation sides for a reason. Like he's not a good goalkeeper, and they were switching because they knew we have a problem. We don't have a good goalkeeper. Like he was making weekly mistakes. Like he was bad, But Nisa, do you have a different opinion on it? Like, do you think because you said maybe rest him? So
Yeah, for me, Digger is number one all day, but I maybe could think for resting this that, so he could be extra fit against Atalanta. But I also think if you put him on the bench for Verona, it could kill him mentally. It could. So for me, Digger is yeah, it's not a discussion. I think we have much bigger problems, as someone said in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, even like letting in goals from the edge of the box, like that's a defender midfielder problem. Like it's hard. I still feel like those edge of box goals, it's close enough to gain a lot of power. It's hard to see because there's so many players in the box. Like I don't usually fault unless they have a hand on the ball. Like it is what it is, I can't fault them for any of it.
Even what do you think? Like,
I think if there is only one man on earth that agrees with changing coaches every game is Thiago Motta. He did it last season with Juve. He was changing goalkeepers so often,
at the beginning,
which is
yeah.
So that's really a wrong choice. But for Di Gregorio, I believe that of course you can't concede a goal like that, the one of Iancuto. That's really a bad one. In your near post, you can't be beaten like that. But even the goal of the Mecha from Dortmund, he didn't even jump. He didn't even go for the ball. He was just there and took it. So I think Di Gregorio needs to do more. But at the same time, I won't interfere in because I think you will damage Di Gregorio. But one thing that I want to mention is last season we saw really good levels from Di Gregorio, even at the World Cup. So his level decreased this season. I just want to say, is it because the trainers of the goalkeepers this season that Tudor brought with him, is that the problem? Because the player decreased in his level. I think that the one that we had with Thiago Motta, he was really good. The goalkeeper trainer, he was really good. I think the problem is about the staff more than only Di Gregorio.
That could be the case.
True,
I don't know if
definitely don't want Perin going in. He's not being trained well either.
I don't know, but Perin played a couple of games last season, and he was actually not good in some of those games. I don't know if people remember that, but he was also he looked shaky at times, and he had very good games as well. I'm not going to deny that, and I agree with Karen. He can play, like he can start for Serie A teams, but I will hold it against him every single time. A couple of seasons ago when he came back, because he went back to Genoa, and then he came back, and he said, I'd rather sit on the bench at Juve and try to win stuff than play for The moment he said that, I don't feel sorry for you one bit, because you knew what you signed up for, and that's your mindset right now. Your mindset is, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want cool. I can be the backup to be my main guy. I'm sorry. I don't want that. I want the guy who won the Golden Glove and who saved us last season so many times. I'd rather, put my hopes on that guy. Now, if he starts making insane mistakes week in, week out, week out, obviously we're gonna revisit this discussion. But I don't think
Yep.
we reached that point right now to actually say, yeah, bench him and like play Pirin
It's just
20
two
games a
games.
season. I'm like, not even the backup striker plays 20 games a season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like, actually, for real, like usually a backup striker doesn't play 20 games. And when I say 20 games, I mean like for at least 20 minutes, not 5 minutes being subbed in, so I mean, it's going overboard. I saw an article, I think it's a Gazzetta dello Sport. It was actually disgusting the way it was written. Like, because you would think we would have, I don't know who in goal, because I cannot remember a very bad goalkeeper we've had ever, to be honest. Does anyone remember like a really bad goalkeeper where it was like, that's brutal to watch? Because even Manninger, I thought he was decent enough, to pay. Like, bad is watching Onana goalkeeper for Man U, for example. That's bad. I don't think we ever had that level of goalkeeper. Maybe I'm blanking it out, but I cannot recall that, to be honest. Even Chiminti was pretty okay, I thought, but going way back right now. So we talked about that. I'm expecting him to start. If Di Gregorio doesn't start, I think that means that was agreed on at the start of the season.
Which I have
Rather
heard. I did hear that Pirin would have left if he didn't have that agreement that he'd play more. I don't know how true that is, though.
We will because there are like real solid rumors that he wanted to leave and get more playing time, and then I was like, cool, that's your good right. If you want to play, the position, you're not going to play much. So if you want to play, I'm fair.
Yeah.
But you cannot complain when you stay. Like, you cannot do that.
My biggest issue with him is like, he's been on the bench for how many seasons now? Like, every year you just get worse if you're not playing every game. Like, he's not going to be as good as people remember whenever the last time it was he played. Like, it is what it is. He's not match fit. He's not match sharp. Like, the most matches he gets is in training.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
do agree.
I don't want that in my goal.
Yeah. I mean, but like some clubs are maybe desperate, and they will take it.
Sure.
But I mean, it is what it is. I think it's going overboard for now. Last question topic before we wrap this one up, Verona, almost tomorrow for me. It's almost Friday over here. So almost tomorrow we play Verona. 4 out of 4, right? I mean, that's the goal, just I don't know what you guys think. What I want to see is just a professional, non, heart attack type of game. Just get in, get the job done, and leave. It's already difficult for us to go to Verona. I think you just go there, make it look professional, solid. Dominate, don't give up a lot of chances. Just be clinical and leave. Just put a solid performance in where I think everybody can, breathe and be like, okay, it doesn't need to be hectic every single week. But I don't know what you think, Josh. What do you expect from me?
I want a nice, simple 2-0 win, no big chances against, just like 30th minute and then one in the 70th minute and then just holding out. We're good. That's all I want.
I just want to see some nice attacking football. I want to see us on the front foot. I want to see us moving the ball around quickly. I want to see a couple goals or 3 or 4 and a clean sheet for once.
And I want to see goals coming earlier in the game rather than late in the game. So close the game in the first half, 2-0, 3-0, close it. And then you can rotate players, then you can give some players some minutes. So that's what I want to see.
That would be ideal. I don't think we can do that right now. I mean,
Do you think Kumaya starts again?
Yeah, because I think Thuram will get a rest. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That scares me, that combo of I mean, maybe it could be better because I guess when Coop and Thuram are together, Coop would be expected to be the one like dictating play. So since Locatelli will be, Coop would have more freedom on the field. Although, like, man, I wanted to say it. That dude, I don't know, like he goes on the weirdest parts of the field. Like he's never where he should be. He's like, I find so often he's just like stuck to a sideline, like completely out of play. I'm like, what are you doing?
Who do you mean?
Coop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the issue is that when he's there, he he doesn't he does bad things as well. What makes it like obvious that you're like, what the hell are you doing right now? But for me, the biggest issue with Koopman is he messes up the most basic of stuff. That is what it frustrates the hell out of me. I'm not even asking him to pin the ball, 20 yards or make a run like Thuram. I'm not even asking that. I'm just making clean, quick, solid decisions on the ball. That's I think the most basic thing I can ask for a player playing for this club at this level, and he's failing to do that. It feels like he needs, I don't know if anyone used ChatGPT before. If you ask him something a bit too much, like you get some couple of dots and he takes like 30 seconds before he answers. And when you ask him very simple questions, he's like, here we go. That's it, what you want to know. It's the same thing, At times I'm like, you're bugging. Like you're absolutely bugging. And it's frustrating to watch because right now I'm looking at a player. I'm like, I don't think I would do much worse than you. Obviously I would, but that's how it comes across where it's like, it's a bit sad to watch because we played him in multiple positions already, and this season too. And it's just not coming off, so I don't know how
he really has to just come off the bench only in that position, that double pivot position, just to build consistency. But now, someone put in the chat, RB Comps put it. Now I'm curious. Would you rather start Coop or McKennie in that midfield role if you had to pick one? This is like a question from hell.
McKennie.
Right now, I would say McKennie. I would agree, and
that's depressing.
It is depressing
McKennie.
Because
so depressing.
It's like watching paint dry. Watching McKennie play, like nothing happens. But at least he doesn't give the ball away that much as Coop Miners does. But it's not.
Basics.
I'd almost rather gamble in the Coop at that point.
It's like Nizar was saying, like the basic, which you would assume anyone would do at this level.
He does the basics well in the midfield either. Yeah. He does the basics on the wing back. McKennie, I don't even know if he does the midfield right.
No, I don't like him. Like he takes 1,000 touches before he's like, okay, I need to play 1-2 meters sideways. I'm like, you could have done that 10 seconds ago, but fine. It's not good. Like somebody asked the question yesterday in the chat, saying, oh, in January, do we need to go for midfielders? I refuse to talk about transfers right now. Like I did it for 3 months and I got, it drove me insane. I don't want to do that. But right now I'm looking at him like it's that, if you want to change your formation and you don't trust the players you have right now, or you're going to do something on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, or the right, left wing, whatever, because you clearly you don't trust João Mario as well. You kept Kostic for, I don't know, vibes, because he's not even playing when Cambiasso is out. Like he's literally there for vibes, what kind of vibes, but I don't want to be part of those vibes, but he's not there to contribute. Whatever the media told us, he's not there to actually have an impact, even though, some might believe he would still have an impact with the club.
So,
but yeah.
Do you think he would trust Adzic to give him a start?
No. I say no because his agent spoke 2 days ago, and he said he's doing well, he's shooting, but he needs to work on his defensive abilities. He's going to need to improve on that. And Tudor spoke about him as well. And he said, the last 6 months, and that's basically when he came in, he said, we worked extremely hard to change his, you say that, like his habitude, like his usual day-to-day life. That's what he was trying to say. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what he was doing in his day-to-day life, but he said we needed to change his mindset, his approach to everything. And even Adzic came out, he said, I'm doing things differently now. So I don't know, if an agent comes out and he said he needs to work on his defensive abilities right now to command this place, I'm gonna say no, he's not gonna start him.
But could he play in a more attacking role instead of
Oh, he's already been doing that.
next to Loka?
I think, you know, if Miretti is back, I think Miretti will get a start over
Yes.
Atsic and Colt Miners
Yes.
sooner
This is
than
what I need to
Atsic
see.
will get that start.
But do you
Miretti
think
stayed for a reason. I need to see what he's going to do in that midfield role. I hope he's not going to play in the front three.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. Yes.
But I don't know when Miretti is back, you know. Actually, the last reports were that he's not really injured, but they're just, you know, being cautious with it. But that's also a player we have, and we're gonna need to try out. You know, however it's going, good or bad, you're gonna need to give it a shot. You know, because maybe that is a solution. Who knows? Because I like Miretti. I do, because he plays forward, he plays quick, and he always wants to play vertically. Like that's his mindset. I do like that. You know, like if you look at him and a McKennie and a Colt Miners, it's like watching football and a different sports on the ball. Like it is.
Yes,
like
correct.
one actually wants to play football,
Yeah.
and the other two want to play football, but you know it's you know chill, relax. You know, but
Yeah.
it's not my cup of tea. You know, it's not mine. So I don't know. You know, maybe I can be completely wrong, and he starts Atsic because against Inter he put him in, and I think most of the people were watching that game were like, "What?"
I was shocked.
Actually I didn't. I forgot he came on because he brought on Cabal, and I was hella confused. I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening? I didn't even know he was in the match day squad. I
Yeah.
completely forgot. I was like, what's happening here? And then like when the minutes go on, I was like, oh yeah, Azic came on as well. You know, so I thought that was the most crazy thing of that day.
In
Starting
the
11,
stadium
guys.
when Adzic came on, I was said to some Italian dude, and he was like, and you must see his face when he scored the winning goal.
I mean, everybody was shocked. I think he was shocked.
Yeah.
But somebody need, like, after this, go watch on YouTube his goal compilation. If you haven't done that,
Yeah,
like, it's just
I've watched it already. Yeah, I've watched it. He's sick. He's very confident. He's a very confident player.
Mhm.
it's all those type of goals. Actually, to take that shot without a run up, you're a psychopath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much
It's-
power in that shot.
It's ridiculous. Vucinic became his coach today as well, national team
Yeah,
coach.
Vucinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vucinic. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even knew he was
Coaching.
coaching. I didn't know
Never
that.
heard.
Miracle
But good for him.
Vucinic.
Hope he doesn't teach Adzic's celebration.
Taking off his shorts.
Yeah.
I was against Pescara at home, 2-0.
He did it
I
2
remember.
times, I think.
Yeah, one of the time was at home against Pescara.
Mm.
Actually,
So-
did he get
so
it?
quickly-
Did he get it? No, you go.
Quickly, before you go, Ali, what's your predicted 11 for the game on the weekend?
The score, you mean, or?
No, your 11. Your predicted 11.
Oh, 11. Okay, so I think it's going to be Di Gregorio, Kelly, Gatti.
Rugani.
Wait. No, let
That's-
me. It's. Whew. Yeah, it's going to be Di Gregorio. It's going to be Kelly. I think Kelly's going to start. I think Gatti is going to start. I mean,
Rugani.
I would be shocked if it's going to be Rugani. Kalulu is probably going to start. I don't know, man. I think. Wait, I will go. Di Gregorio, Kelly, Bremer, Gatti, Kalulu, João Mario, Conceição. No, Cambiasso, excuse me. Locatelli, Colt Miners, and then it's Openda, David Vlahovic.
I would. This is why I also don't think Mario Cambiasso will start, because I don't think he's going to start both of those offensive wingbacks without Bremer in the defense. That's suicide ball.
Balance-wise, you can be right, but
There's a part of me that would rather. I don't know. I've been thinking of Cambiasso just being on the right because I feel like he's too similar to Yildiz and wanting the ball, but Yildiz isn't even playing that game, so I don't know.
he
Does
played on
anyone
the right
think-
with Allegri, no?
Yeah, he did that a couple. Does anyone think he's gonna make? Does anyone agree that you think? Because I think he's gonna rest Bremer, Thuram, and Yildiz. Does anyone has a different feeling?
I think you'll
I-
rest Bremer and Turam, but I think Yildiz will play.
I also feel like Yildiz will play.
Okay.
I think Kalulu also can get some rest. I think.
Kalulu could use rest, but this is where I don't see him benching Kalulu if Bremer's not there. I think he sees
Yeah.
Kalulu as the second best defender on the team.
Yeah, a defense with Kelly, Gatti, Rugani maybe would be
Scary.
it would be very scary. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ready for that. I'm absolutely not ready for that. I don't think anyone. I'll speak for everyone. I think even the players themselves, they don't want to see that. They don't want to do that. They absolutely do not want to do it. Actually, Julian was on the channel with me. He watched the Verona Cremonese game. I didn't watch it live, but I saw the stats, and Verona like 20 shots and Cremonese like 1. So I rewatched the extended highlights. I don't want to see that backline against Verona. Like,
Oh,
I just do not want to see that, because if that happens, like, people are gonna hate Di Gregorio because he's gonna concede, shots from outside the box. It's just going to happen. It is. So I don't want to see that. That's too much. Like Kelly, Gatti, Rugani. I mean, yeah. When
this
we were
is where I'm
finishing-
very
when we were
scared.
finishing 7th, we had a better backline because
No,
we had
that's
Chiellini
bad.
out there. We had Chiellini still out there.
Jesus.
I don't want I don't want to go back to those times. I'm sorry.
This is where I'm scared. I want him to rest Bremer, but I have like just a gut fear that he's going to be like, I can't sit Bremer. I have to win games, and Bremer's just going to get burnt. And that's my only fear, that they don't bench Bremer and give him the rest that he needs to have.
I think it will happen.
I think we will, but I hope so.
We will see. Alex saying Verona is better than we think. They're better than the table suggests. I don't think they're better than we think, but they're better than the points on the table. They are. They should have won that Cremonese game comfortably, but they didn't. And we always struggle there. How you can join the WhatsApp group? This WhatsApp group with these guys is to come on the show. You just need to reach out to me. The other WhatsApp group is for who becomes a member on the channel. So there are 2 different ones. But if you want to come on the channel, you can reach out to me, and I'll add you to these guys and still a couple of others who haven't joined today as well. We're gonna wrap this one up. It's actually 1 hour and 20 minutes in almost. I didn't even realize it's Friday over here, so we do play tomorrow. We made it, but let's see what Tudor has to say in Espresso. Maybe I want to say maybe he drops something, but he doesn't give away anything. Yeah, I remember Allegri pressers, and before the question is asked, he's like, "I will tell you, these 4 guys are gonna start." Tudor's not really like that, so it's going to be a guessing game until kickoff probably, and that's fine, and we will see what's going to happen on Saturday. But Josh, Karen, Nizar, thanks for joining for the 2nd time.
Thank you.
We are doing this show next week again, probably on a Thursday again, or maybe a different day. I will, because we don't play midweek, so maybe I will switch it up and try to do it maybe on a different hour as well, so others can potentially join. Let's see. But yeah, that's it, guys. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow for the preview. Ciao.